All right, we're on page 66 in our books. The first thing you need to know about adding and subtracting variable expressions is that we combine like terms. Remember, like terms have to have the same variable. They have to have the same variable. Now, if they don't have a variable, if they're just a number by themselves, of course, we can add numbers together. So we have, let's go ahead and just identify our like terms. What's one pair of like terms that we have? 6 and 15. Okay. 2x and 5x. And do we have any other y's? No. Okay. So now we can combine these. 21, 7x, and 3y. And we can rewrite this 21, well actually we would start off with 7x plus 3y plus 21. They're all positive, okay? And that would be a simplified version. Now, whenever you're writing a variable expression like this, you're going to start with the variable, the lowest variable in the alphabet. That's why we start with 7x. And then our number always comes last, okay? So that would be the proper way to write it. Technically, it doesn't matter, but just algebraically, that's the way that we would write it. Now, in example 1, I just have some different variable expressions here, so let's go ahead and solve. Now, the one thing that you do want to pay attention to on these problems is your signs, okay? Now, on the first one, what's 3x plus 2x? That one's pretty easy. 5x. Well, that's okay. You're on the recording saying that, so. All right, 5x would be the answer. On number 2 now, I have negative 9n plus 3m. Now, whenever there's a variable by itself, what number do we know is out in front of it? It's a 1. It's an understood 1. So, and I know for those of you who had Ms. Reber, I think Mr. Kosen teaches integers this way too. Whenever you have integers with different signs, you subtract and take. Okay, so negative 9 plus 1, subtract them. 9 minus 1 is 8. And you take the sign of your bigger number. So it would be negative 8n plus 3m. Do you see how we got that? You see how we got that? Yes, question? No, it would not be n squared because we're not multiplying them. Now, if we were multiplying n times n, then it would be n squared. That's when we would deal with the exponents. We're actually going to be doing that on Monday. Okay, so it's a good question. All right, now on the third one, now we have two variables. So both variables in the expression have to match up. We have 12xy plus 8xz minus or plus negative 15xy. Now, I really don't like these double signs, plus and negative. Plus and negative is the same thing as just subtracting it, okay? A double negative is positive, okay? So plus and negative is the same thing as subtracting it. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. 12xy plus 8xz minus 15xy. Now, I know that every number has a sign, and the sign is in front of the number. Now, when I'm talking about comparing or combining like terms, okay, I have 12xy minus 15xy. I have different signs here. One is positive and one is negative. So what do I do? Is it 3xy? Why is it negative 3? Because 15 is your bigger number, right? 15 is the greater absolute value. It's the bigger number, so I keep the negative. So it would be negative 3xy. Ninth grade. Okay, so we have negative 3xy, and then we cannot combine 8xz with anything because there's no terms matching it, okay? So the one thing that might mess y'all up on this lesson is those signs. Adding and subtracting your positive and negative numbers, just remember your rules. Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract and take. All right, y'all remember that from learning that before? Different signs, subtract and take, remember that? Remember? Okay. All right, now in example 2, we're continuing to simplify. But in the first one, we have fractions. Make sure that you have a common denominator. Okay, make sure that you have a common denominator, and now you're going to subtract them. But you have 1/3 minus 2/3. So what's going to be your answer? Positive 1/3 or negative 1/3? It's going to be negative 1/3 because negative 2 is larger. You see that, Devontae? Yeah, that's negative. So 1 minus 2, that gives you a negative 1/3 A. Okay, we've got to pay attention to those signs. Now in number 2, we have negative 3x plus 8y minus 6y. So what terms can we combine here on number 2? 8 and 6. 8 minus 6 is? So it would be negative 3x plus or minus 2y?
Minus. Plus next 3.
It's plus because 8 is positive and it's bigger. So 8 minus 6 is just 2. Okay. That's with multiplying.
Oh.
7th grade.
Okay, so we have negative 3x plus 2y. Negative 3x plus 2y. All right, now on number 3, again, we have these double variables, so we need to make sure that they both match in order to combine the like terms. All right, so we have 2.4 st minus a negative 7.1 sy minus 10.8 st. What's the first thing that you think you want to do here? Not necessarily combine like terms. Take care of that double negative, okay? We have a double negative here, so let's go ahead and take care of that and rewrite it. 2.4 st plus 7.1 sy minus 10.8 st. Okay, now we can combine our like terms. And we have 2.4 st minus 10.8 st. Calculators, that's probably the easiest way to do this, and you are allowed to use them. So 2.4 minus 10.8 is what? Negative 8.4. So negative 8.4 st plus 7.1 sy would be the simplified answer. Okay? And then questions on simplifying variable expressions, adding and subtracting them. Okay, so we're not dealing with exponents yet, that's multiplying and dividing. All right, now example 3. In example 3, same thing, except now we're substituting a value for a variable. So they give us a variable expression at first, and now we plug in a value for it, and we're actually going to come up with an answer. So on number 1, we have m plus 2m when m equals negative 7. So we substitute in negative 7 for m. Now, whenever you have this on a homework assignment, make sure that you make the substitutions and you write that on your homework assignment. I'll count off points if you don't have this. Plus 2 times negative 14. Or, I'm sorry, times negative 7. Now go ahead and multiply order of operations. And you have negative 7. What's 2 times negative 7? Minus 14. Or if you said plus negative 14, that would be fine as well. All right, so what's your answer going to be? You agree? I know you know. Okay, what do you think? Is it negative 21 or is it negative 7? Okay, same sign. Do you agree that they're both negative? Okay, so same sign, add and keep. 7 plus 14 is 21. So the answer would be negative 21. Don't forget your negative in your answer. All right, second one, number 2. Following the same steps, we're just plugging in. So m minus p plus 3p. So plug in negative 7 minus 12 plus 3 times 12. So negative 7 minus 12, same sign, add and keep. That would be what? Riley, what would it be? Negative 7 minus 12. Negative 19, very good. Negative 19 plus 36. You can do it in your calculator if you want. Different signs, subtract and take. So 36 minus 19 is 17, and is my answer positive or negative 17?
Positive,
Why?
because the bigger number has a positive.
Because 36 is bigger and it's positive. Very good. All right, now number 3. Again, just start making our substitutions. This one's just a little more complex. So 7 times negative 7 minus 5 times negative 7 minus 12 plus 3 times 12. Okay? So let's look at these individually. We're going to multiply it out before we start adding, especially here. Do not do this before you multiply 3 times 12. Let's do our multiplication first. Order of operations is important here. So 7 times negative 7 is what? What is it? Negative 49. Negative 5 times negative 7 is what? Positive 35. We're looking at our signs. And then we have 3 times 12 on the other end is positive 36, and we plugged in our negative 12 as well. All right, so now we can just work left to right. In your calculators, you want to do negative 49 plus 35 minus 12 plus 36, and you get what? 10. And that's your answer. All right, and if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 2.4.